Okay. So I guess now more than ever, there's, as previously mentioned, there's that growing desire to move your systems to that cloud environment. The cloud has been with us for a number of years, and while smaller businesses have been able to embrace this technology faster as their requirements are smaller and are more agile to be able to make that move, with larger organizations, there's a lot more to consider, and so the adoption has been slower. The problem is the various pathways available. This is a very daunting decision sometimes, and the right decision needs to be made, and it takes a bit of time to make those decisions. So what we want to do today is discuss those pathways to get you to that cloud and help you decide which path would best suit your company. So the first pathway we'll look at is what is called the hybrid model. That hybrid model is leveraging your on-premise solution, so MYOB Exo, and having deep and tightly integrated system cloud services to help work with that solution. So taking those best of breed solutions of the different areas of the business. So you talk about something like time management within inside the company, so time track, reporting. So you look at overall management reporting, look at focus. Opmetrics or MYOB Exo on the go is your mobility type solutions. Expense managers helping your staff be able to manage expenses and the company to approve those authorizations of expenses. We look at NetStock, HubSpot, NetStock for inventory management decisions. HubSpot is a CRM and mail support solution. Avexo is your high-end inventory management there, and EasyCollect for debt management. You can also integrate Office 365 with MYOB Exo, and using all these solutions together, you kind of create this holistic environment that is, once again mentioned, is based in the on-premise Exo solution, but you're using the best of those solutions outside that are cloud-based to help you get to a hybrid model of what would be a way to get into the cloud environment. When we look at some other solutions which are more the traditional, and we look at some of the enable remote access to your ERP system. So this is your traditional sense whereby you have a remote desktop. So that simple connectivity model, which is simply creating a remote desktop system on your environment whereby staff are able to connect, whether they're at home or a different location, via secure services using a VPN, or using other connected services in order to create that remote connection. There are risks associated with this type of system, and with the ever-growing technology and poor use of it, sometimes these systems can be under threat and therefore can be a risk to you given the current status of the way we're going at the moment. So when we look at other ways to help you manage those environments, we look at the cloud hosting model, a managed cloud hosting model. This is something that is embracing the full cloud service, but you still having this environment where you use an Exo, and I will give Exo hosted as the example of a solution that fully manages the cloud solution for MYOB Exo and has been designed for that specific reason and is managed by MYOB experts such as ourselves. The processes of using Exo hosted, those cloud managed solutions, is you're accessing through your web browser HTML5 solution or a remote app. This ultimately, from an advantage perspective, is simplifying the infrastructure within IT infrastructure inside your businesses. So you're removing the need for larger systems, so technology or hardware, for example. So servers are no longer required within inside the business, and so it does simplify the IT requirements of that business, which it ultimately is a cost-saving exercise, and simplifying those where you have a simple monthly costing for that environment whilst reducing the maintenance and cost of maintenance having an on-premise equipment. You can also include Microsoft 365 with inside this Office 365 inside there, so it is all fully managed with inside that hosted environment. You can go a little bit deeper into that, where you have a private cloud hosting model. So what this is doing is taking an entire hosted server model where it's still managed under that environment, but is dedicated to you and your business. So when you look at further, deeper customizations with inside your organization, you have that ability to access that private hosted environment and create those customization, those applications, and have that bespoke setup for you guys. There is a lot more control with inside your own organization because you're not sharing those hosted environments with other companies itself. So there's a little bit more control inside of those things. These are also an option that is available with inside the Exo host environment if you want to look toward that. And to give you a bit of an idea of what the Exo host environment does look like, you can simply see here where we've got a standard web browser application that is open. You log in through a standard username password setup, and that will get you to this hosted environment where you can see you'll be able to click on your preferred module of Exo, and all including whether that is your standard business services or the employer services, and therefore you can have the same environment as you were operating on a on-premise solution. So there's really little change. So in terms of staff adoption, other than simply logging into the web browser environment, Exo itself, for staff perspective, will be no changes whatsoever. The next we can look at is the cloud as a service model. The cloud as service, so we look at the likes of Microsoft Azure or Amazon Web Services or similar solutions where you have taken the advantage of the cloud hosting service, but it treats it in that infrastructure service or PaaS or platform as a service type model. This provides an increased control over your environment and increased responsibility over the management of the environment. So if you already have, and where some companies already have used services like Azure or Amazon Web Services for a storage facility of just a simple data, moving across to taking a fully cloud as a service type environment with inside their systems, that adoption can be a lot quicker and a lot faster. You can also use, for example, and leverage Microsoft MYOB's Exo DCE environment for that lightweight connectivity without having that remote desktop connectivity itself. The next one we'll look at, and this is that little, we talk about that full SaaS model, which we talk about as MYOB Advanced. So MYOB Advanced, as we mentioned, offers you that pure SaaS model, and it's support on a broad functional footprint. This option, the advantage of the system, like Exo hosted, allows you to have accessibility anywhere at any time in the world. It is, once again, logging in via your web browser and going straight into your your MYOB Advanced environment. So you can able to perform all the normal functions within inside the business, depending on what your role is within inside that company. It is, the licensing structure is different, where it just is a simple user-based licensing model. So this is a monthly subscription-based service type structure, and moving from MYOB to Exo, it is an easier transition to move across there because of the familiarities within inside the company, and also as Kilimanjaro ourselves as a business, we have familiarity with the organization, with your organization, and so help you make that adoption to let's say an advanced environment a lot easier. And what we'll be doing shortly is we'll have a sneak peek at the advanced solution, so you get an idea of how that would work for you guys. Thank you, guys.